Vbeast guys, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time at my channel, go ahead and please hit that like button and subscribe to help me out in my endeavors to teach people about motorcycles or whatever motorcycle topic I got going on. Like today, what type of motorcycle should I buy, or what kind of motorcycle should I get? And this is definitely geared towards those that are first-time riders. And I have been trying to work on a how to ride series, which oh, you know what, I'm gonna get gas over there. And this is why motorcycles are cool, right? Like, hey, I didn't know there was a gas station over here. Hey, you're in the wrong area. Anyways, get some of this go-go juice up in here. And then I'll continue to talk about motorcycles. Okay, let's see, what kind of gas prices right now do we have in Tejas? Hey, I have to put this in there, so Power Premium with Techron, $4.89. Wow. All right, let me get some gas in this beast. Wait, can I do this? Hey, keeping my camera on. All right, get some gas and then we'll be back to it. Okay, so you want to buy a motorcycle. Okay, good. And I want to help you to get that first motorcycle. There's plenty of choices out there for your first motorcycle. There's a lot of people that think when getting your first motorcycle, you should get something that's small. And I don't necessarily agree with that, only because I did what is very uncommon, is I didn't get a small bike. So my background is I was used to riding like mini bikes, dirt bikes type of thing when I was younger. And I really loved riding bicycles as well. So I kind of had that two-wheel balance type of thing and confidence already in set. I understood how a standard works, and that helps a great deal. Which way should I go? I guess I'll just go this way. And so if you know how a standard transmission works, then that's the hardest part. It's almost quite literally like riding a bicycle. It's just really heavy. The faster you go, the easier it is to maneuver it. The slow speed is where people usually drop their bikes, because that is the hardest portion of riding a motorcycle. And I'm supposed to have some how to ride videos coming up. I don't know when. I like scrapped a whole bunch of them. So anyways, let's just get into it. So a lot of people say you need to get a small one. Me, I started off street bike wise on a sport bike, and it was a 600cc. Now I had a very, very little experience, I would say, on motorcycles, even though growing up I did the mini bike thing. It's not a bad idea to get something a little bit bigger than a 250cc, because that's what most people start off on. And if you know my channel, I have what I call the Mini Beast. That's the Z125. That is a single cylinder, and it's a 125cc, so it's even smaller than a 250 Ninja, 250 whatever it may be. So I don't suggest starting off on one of those 125s like a Honda Grom or a Z125, because they're just not fast enough. And it's not that you have to have something really fast, it's just you need to be able to get out of the way. And if it's your first bike, you need to be able to get out of the way of people that are not paying attention. Now that doesn't mean you need an R1 or you need not even an R6. I would say if it's your first bike, I would stay away from sport bikes. And before you turn my channel off, let me explain why. Okay, so in the sport bike world, it's quite different from, let's say, the cruiser world. So in the sport bike world, you can just expect a lot of tickets because those bikes are fast, and for the most part they want you, or you want to feel, or at least I did, I wanted to go fast. So get ready to spend money on tickets and your insurance going up. Not just because it's a sport bike either, it's because the tickets, right? Yeah, they are fun, no doubt, but I would say if you're gonna get a sport bike, one, be careful. It's gonna, especially if you're a dude, you're gonna want to act like an idiot. I know I did some wheelies on them. Of course, I'm pretty terrible at wheelies, but I tried anyways. I burned up a tire just doing burnouts. I mean, I acted like an idiot on it. And my first ticket, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I was good enough to where I only had one ticket, but I foresaw my future. I was like, I am gonna get a lot of these. My insurance went up with that one ticket, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is stupid. I need to quit doing this. A lot of people, they just keep going, and they keep getting ticket after ticket after ticket. Then their insurance is like ridiculous high. I know people that rode without a license endorsement, and it never works out in the end. That's besides the point. So if you're gonna go sport bike, I would say go small CC on that. So go let me see, what do they have now? I think they have 300s. If they had like a 500, actually I think they have 400s, maybe. Like, I think maybe the Ninja has a 400 or something. I would go in that route with a sport bike and test that out, because those little ones, they do have a little bit more power, right? They have a lot more power than like a Honda Grom and a Z125, so you can definitely get out of the way. But they're gonna let you feel how sport bikes are. Now their riding position on those smaller CC sport bikes, they're not gonna be like a super sport or a sport bike. I don't even know. I know there's different categories, but they're the seating position. If you're a taller guy, if you're a taller woman, it doesn't matter. You're gonna be leaning forward, and some people lean so much it hurts their wrist. Some people it hurts their neck. Some people it hurts their lower back. If you're looking to go any distance, do not get a sport bike. So if you get a sport bike, try the small one out. Yeah, try one of those out. But I would suggest, if you're getting into motorcycling and you want to have a good experience, besides you need to learn the basics, the bike that you should get, in my opinion, is gonna be a cruiser. You know, because cruisers have low seat height. They have one of the lowest seat heights. They're very predictable. They're customizable, so you won't get bored. And you don't have to get, a lot of people might think of a Harley Davidson as a cruiser. Yes, it's a cruiser, but there's also other companies. Kawasaki has a Vulcan 900 that I think is a good first bike. It's a little on the heavy side, but it'll do. You're gonna have to learn slow speed maneuvers, but other than that, I think it's a good bike to start on. Another bike that I think is really good that's not a Harley is a Yamaha V-Star 6, I think it's a 600, I think it's a 900? No, 650. I think it's a 650. So it's a smaller V-twin. And then you can get older V-Stars. I'm talking about the newer one. No, 950. The 650 is the older one. 650 is a really good starting V-twin cruiser, or cruiser. You don't have to have a V-twin if you don't want it. But I'm all about that V-twin because it's about that. It's about that bass. Right? It's about that. I like it. Anyways, so you don't have to do that. You don't have to get the Harley because a Harley is going to be more expensive. But I think, And of course, it's just pure opinion. This is my opinion. Take it for a grain of salt. I think the best cruiser to start out on has got to be the Harley Davidson Sportster. Now, I'm not talking about the brand new 2022 Sportster redesign. I'm talking about the old school air-cooled version. One, because it's raw. It's a raw motorcycle. There's no extras, and you don't need all that when you're learning. And you may not want it anyways, but that motorcycle has a lot going for it because what it is and what it is not. So it's one, not a sport bike. Most likely you're not going to want to get in trouble. Two, not extremely fast. Again, ticket, but you can go fast on it. You can go fast enough to get a ticket. Three, a throwaway bike. It's not a throwaway. I mean, I can argue that point with sport bikes. They're not necessarily throwaways, but usually people keep their Harleys. You know, Harleys usually do not go into a junkyard. They get handed down from family member to family member, so generation to generation. That's just how it is, man. Because everything on that bike is either customizable or fixable. And that is definitely what you want as a first bike. So there's a lot of pros and not too many cons to that motorcycle. So I would suggest that to be the first bike you get. And let me point out some more reasons. So if you get a Sportster, you have two options. You have the 883, which is the smallest engine, or the 1200, which is obviously bigger than 883. And those two are the choices currently, and they've always been the choices. So if you get one of those, I would really suggest, even if you're a new rider, just get the 1200cc, because you will definitely wish you had gotten that one, the bigger engine. Within maybe 6 or 7 months, you're gonna be like, I want the bigger one. See, the Sportster, add some more reasons in there as I pay attention to all this traffic, is a Sportster is highly customizable. So let's say you're getting bored with it. You're like, I'm used to it. I'm used to the power. I'm used to slow speed maneuvers. I want something else. Well, before you get something else, let's say, you know, it's fine. You take it to work. You have like short jaunts on it. You go eat. Maybe go ride with some friends every now and then. Whatever, you know, little short trips, not super long trips. Some people have did long trips on a Sportster. It just gets really annoying. But you could change up the seat. So, you know what, I'm gonna change the seat. I don't like the seat. I'm gonna put a different seat on it. Or I want to put maybe some wheels on it. Or I want to put some suspension on it. The suspension's too bumpy. Let me put some different suspension on it. Sweet. Let me put this, let me put that, I mean, there's so many things that it could be done to a Sportster. I want to strip it down super lightweight, because I only go to the bar or something on the weekends. I don't need all the frills or nothing. I don't need anything on it. You could do it. I mean, a Sportster is very customizable. It's like the Swiss Army knife of Harley starter bikes. And one really good thing about the Sportster, because it's a Harley Davidson, it has a lot of backing. And if it breaks and you don't know what you're doing on fixing it, you can always take it to the dealer and they're gonna fix it. That's not to say a Yamaha, Kawasaki, Honda, Suzuki, Triumph, or whatever dealer, BMW, they're not gonna do the same thing. I just feel that Harley Davidson has, or even an Indian, I totally left Indian out. Mainly because I don't think Indian's a first bike kind of thing. They don't have like a real starter bike. I don't think you should. It's just a really, maybe you can. Maybe throw that in there. You want to go Indian? Yeah, you go ahead and do Indian. The Indian's going to be an Indian Scout. And I think the Scout 60 is going to be the entry-level one, which I think is maybe a little too much pep and power for a new rider. But if you think you can handle it, go ahead and handle it. I mean, it does have it has some power. So yeah, you can throw that one in there. I wouldn't really recommend it, at least in our area. So like when I was talking about if it breaks, if your bike breaks or whatever, I found that others who have Indians, it's quite a few of them. It's not like a small amount. It's a pretty good amount of people are just very dissatisfied with Indians. Well, lack of customer service when it comes to servicing their motorcycles. I mean, there's been people, the bolts have been over tightened, thus they've broken off when the people try to do other stuff to their motorcycle, like change stuff, whatever it may be. Like, oh, they tightened my mirrors they're way too tight, so when they took them off, it just busted the mirror bolt. Or, you know, that's just one example. There's plenty of others that was just very weird. You know, not to say Harley Davidson hasn't done that. I've never read anything like that from Harley Davidson or seen it. I've seen it with Indian, and I follow many pages on Indian and Harley Davidson. I also follow victory pages. I'm not obviously going to say, oh, I am turning here, I'm getting out of here, too much traffic. I'm not gonna say this is a good first bike, because this thing weighs like 800 pounds, and you're gonna have to do this, which I'm okay with because I've been riding a while. And this thing's, like I said, 800 some pounds. Anyways, back to Harley Davidson. The Harley Davidson, the Sportster in particular, any of their models this is going to cover. But Harley Davidson has one thing that the other manufacturers do not have, and that's great resale. So all of that said, that's my recommendation. That should be your first bike. You don't have to follow it, your choice, but I would suggest it because it's much easier, and then you usher in the fun customizing of motorcycles, so your experience is richer, it's deeper, and you appreciate your motorcycle more because it's yours, and you made it yours because you customized it, you made it the way you wanted it, and it's just that much better. Especially if you're a car person, you like customizing your car, you already know how it is. Anyway, so with that being said, guys, ride what you ride, keep it Vbeast mode, and ride till the wheels fall off.
This has been another random weekday video by your very own Vbeast. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Most of all, have a Vbeast day.